donkey. It's time for Donkey of the Day.
Donkey of the Day does not discriminate.
I might not have the song of the day, but I got the donkey of the day.
So if you ever feel I need to be a donkey, man, hit it with the heat.
Yeah, it's the Breakfast Club, bitches.
Who's donkey of the day today?
Donkey of the Day for Monday, December 4th goes to Oscar-nominated actress Felicity Huffman. Now, unless you've been fasting from social media for the last few years, then you may not know that Felicity Huffman served some time in prison and completed court-ordered community service because she broke the law. Okay, she pleaded guilty in 2019 to conspiracy to commit mail fraud and honest services mail fraud. I don't even know what that is. And she served 11 days of a 14-day prison sentence and was ordered to do 250 hours of community service and pay a fine, all because she tried to take a shortcut. And she quickly learned, like most of us learn in life, that there are no shortcuts. If you take shortcuts, you get cut short. Can we flash back to what happened? What caused Felicity to end up in prison? Let's go to ABC News for the report, please.
Actress Felicity Huffman walking out of court today, but not free of prison. The celebrity brushing past cameras with husband and actor William H. Macy moments after she was sentenced to 14 days behind bars. In front of the judge, the prosecutor said most parents have the moral compass and integrity not to step over the line. The defendant does not. After noting Huffman's fame and wealth several times, the prosecutor said emphatically, there's no paparazzi in prison. Prison is the great equalizer. She must go to prison. After pleading guilty to fraud charges in May, Huffman admitted to paying $15,000 to have her daughter's SAT scores rigged. The judge noting she apologized and accepted guilt early. Then the sentence, 14 days in prison, $30,000 fine, 1 year supervised release, and 250 hours of community service.
She paid $15,000 to have someone falsify the results of her daughter's SAT score. You know what I wonder about this? And I probably could find the answer if I cared enough to look. Her daughter didn't know, right? So I'm sure her daughter studied and prepared for the SAT test. What if her daughter would have passed on her own merit? Was the falsifying of the results just in case she failed? What lack of faith did she have in her daughter that she already knew? Let me go ahead and pay for her to pass because I know she's not too bright. Okay, I've been watching her since she got here. I know she's stupid. All right, my daughter gonna live in the basement for the rest of her life if I don't do something. She might have to join the circus or run for Congress. Same difference. Either way, she ends up being a clown. As a child, I would have all these questions for my mother if she did this to me. I appreciate you going above and beyond, Mom. You know, actually committing a crime for me to get ahead. But damn, you don't got no faith in my intelligence, okay, and my own abilities to pass this SAT test. Now, Felicity Huffman recently sat with Eyewitness News to speak for the first time about her participation in this scandal and why she did it. Let's go to ABC News for the report, please.
When he slowly started to present the criminal scheme, it seemed like, and I know this seems crazy at the time, that was my only option to give my daughter a future. And I know hindsight is 20/20, but it felt like I would be a bad mother if I didn't do it. So I did it.
Months later, the FBI was at her door.
They came into my home. They woke my daughters up at gunpoint. Again, nothing new to the black and brown community. Then they put my hands behind my back and handcuffed me, and I asked if I could get dressed.
That's what I was thinking.
And I thought it was a hoax. I literally turned to one of the FBI people in a flak jacket and a gun, and I went, is this a joke?
I felt like this was the only option to give my daughter a future. Felicity Huffman's net worth is $45 million. Now, I am a habitual pocket watcher. Okay, I like to know how much money people are making, and I like to know how they're making it. As soon as I heard her make these comments about this was the only option to give my daughter a future, I Googled her net worth because I needed to know why on God's green earth would she feel like her daughter doesn't have a chance at a future. This young woman of privilege will have every single advantage that is provided to a multimillionaire's daughter, okay? Especially a multimillionaire who also has the complexion for the protection and connection. Now, listen to me. She is taking penitentiary chances for her daughter because she says she wants to give her daughter a chance, to have a future. If an actress worth $45 million is thinking like that, how the hell do you not understand what people in the hood are going through? Okay, folks from poor and disenfranchised communities aren't even attempting to give their kids a shot at a better future. They just trying to get their kids an opportunity in the present moment. And that opportunity is usually just the basics. Food, clothing, some shelter right now. Okay, so when black and brown people are out here doing what they got to do to survive, this system should have some understanding, okay? But they never do. They throw black and brown people under the jail for much less. 14 days and a fine for mail fraud. Do you know mail fraud carries a sentence of 20 years in prison? And you have to pay a $250,000 fine and be required to make full restitution? Like Felicity Huffman would have been some sister from a black or brown community. She would have gotten years behind bars for doing what Felicity Huffman did. Guaranteed. But let's talk about the bigger picture. You know how you set your kids up with opportunities to succeed in the future? Mm-hmm. You know, how do you set your kids up with opportunities to succeed in the future? By not letting them skip steps now. Okay? Letting them know that you cannot escape the process. If your daughter takes the SAT and fails, then she just fails. Study. Come back harder next time. That is what life is about. We have to stop coddling these kids, especially in a world where they go on social media and see everybody's highlight reel. Nobody on social media is showing you the process. They're not showing you the times they failed, the times things didn't go their way. I truly believe one of the worst things about so-called cancel culture is that nobody wants to tell you about their mistakes anymore. Everybody wants to play perfect and act like they've always gotten it right. But guess what? Nobody has. Nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. We say wrong things. We do wrong things. We fall. We get up. We learn. We grow. We move on. We live. And we thank God for always giving us another chance. If we don't allow our kids to fail and learn how to deal with failing, then we are truly hindering their chances of being successful in the future. Felicity, right now, you have an opportunity to teach your kid a tremendous lesson about failure because you failed, but you can't let that failure define you. You have to let it shape you. And right now, your daughter is watching you. The way you handle this is how she is going to learn how to handle failure in the future. And when it comes to stuff like failing a test, please, it's just a test you fail. You take it over. Maya Angelou said it best. Courage allows a successful woman to fail and learn powerful lessons from the failure so that in the end, she didn't fail at all. Our greatest glory in life, kids, is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fail. Please let Chelsea Handler give Felicity Huffman the biggest hee-haw.
Hee-haw, hee-haw. That is way too much Dan mayonnaise.
All right. How many stories we've heard of, sisters putting their kids in different area codes or lying about where they live so their kids can go to better schools and then getting actual prison sentences? Mm-hmm. How can we not understand what they were trying to do for their children, but Felicity Huffman get a slap on the wrist for something that has a 20-year sentence? Yeah. You know why? Too much goddamn mayonnaise. Okay?
All right. Well, thank you for that donkey today. Mm-hmm. BET, peace, BET. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.